Hi, Algebra 1. So if you wanted the answers for 2.7 worksheet, it'll be on the video that was posted last week. Let's take a look at 2.8. This will be assigned to you. There was also going to be a quiz on Schoology for you to take, so make sure you get your computers readily available. We're going to go ahead and start solving these. All right, first problem, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I'm going to get x is less than or equal to 5. It says solve the inequality, write the interval. So this is pointing to negative infinity, so interval notation negative infinity to 5. Hard bracket at the 5 because we have the equal sign. This one I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. So that's going to give me negative 6 is greater than that. Divide each side by 2. So flip the whole thing over, including the sign because of that. In the interval notation, this is pointing to negative infinity, so it's going to go from negative infinity to 3, soft bracket on the 3. Number 3, add 7 to both sides. 3a is greater than or equal to 15 divided by 3. So a is greater than or equal to 5, so that's pointing to infinity. So it's square bracket from 5 to infinity. Subtract 3 from both sides. So I'm going to get negative 9x greater than or equal to 9. Divide each side by negative 9. Remember, when we divide by negative, you have to flip your inequality sign over. So that's pointing to negative infinity. So it goes from negative infinity to negative 1, square bracket or hard bracket. Number 5, let's subtract 7 from both sides. And then multiply each side times 8. So 24 is greater than x. So flip it over, including the sign, so that's pointing to negative infinity, so we're going to go from negative infinity to 24. Number 6, add 1 to both sides, divide each side by 4. 4 is greater than x, flip it over, so that's pointing to negative infinity, so negative infinity to 4, soft bracket. Number 7, let's go ahead and add 2 to both sides, so 5m is greater than or equal to 14, or excuse me, negative 10, sorry about that. Divide each side by negative 5. We're not dividing by negative, so the sign doesn't flip, though the original was negative. So that's pointing to infinity, so I'm going to go square bracket 2 to infinity. Number 8, subtract 1 from both sides. So I'm going to get 2a is less than or equal to negative 4. Divide each side by 2. A is less than or equal to negative 2. Again, the sign doesn't flip over because the divisor wasn't negative. Hard bracket. Let's distribute negative 3 over the parentheses. Subtract 6 from both sides. So that's going to give me negative 18. Divide each side by negative 3. If I divide by a negative, that means that my sign has to flip over. So that's pointing to infinity. So we're going to go from hard bracket 6 to infinity. Number 10, let's distribute that over. So 4x minus 2 is less than negative 8. Add 2 to both sides. So 4x is less than negative 6. Divide each side by 4. So that'll reduce to negative 3 over 2. So that's pointing to negative infinity. So that's going to go from negative infinity to negative 3 halves. Soft bracket. Let's distribute negative 4 to both of these. So it's going to give me 4x plus 8 is less than or equal to negative 72. Subtract 8 from both sides. Those cancel. So 4x is less than or equal to negative 80. Divide each side by 4. So x is less than or equal to, let's see, 1. 4 goes in there twice, 20. So that's pointing to negative infinity. So negative infinity to 20, hard bracket at the 20 because you have the equal sign. What's 1/4 or 1/2 of 4? That'd be 2. What's 1/2 of 8? That'd be 4. You go ahead and add 4 to both sides. Divide each side by 2. So x is less than 10. That's pointing to negative infinity, so it goes from negative infinity to 10, soft bracket. All right, so we must stay above that and below that. So it's going to be from 58 to 75, both soft brackets. We can put it on a number line, so it's an open dot here where that's 58 and that's 75. It's in between those. And then you could say negative or 58 is less than x, which is less than 75 is our equation. A high school student should have no more than 2 hours of homework per class. How much homework could a student be assigned? Well, if you have 5 classes, and that's per week times 2, so I'd say the student should have less than 10 hours of homework. Put it on a number line. You got 0 here, you got 10 here. Open dot going this way. So that's pointing out to negative infinity to 10. Is it really going to be negative infinity? No, you could have 0 hours of homework, so I guess it should be down here. Maybe even a solid dot at the 0. And then you could say less than or equal to 0. Okay, ask your teacher about those last two, and we will take care of 2.9. We are heading to have a test this week. So take care of one another.